Senator Tommy Tuberville insisted that it was time to start cutting funds for food stamps because poor people should go back to work. During a Wednesday interview on Real America's Voice, Tuberville complained that the so-called Farm Bill in a House resolution to continue funding the government included $10 billion for farmers, but did not cut $1.5 billion from the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, commonly known as food stamps. The problem is, I got where the Farm Bill is. It's going to be $1.5 trillion, and $200 billion goes to the farmers in a 5-year period, and $1.3 trillion goes to food stamps, the senator said. Now, if we need to start cutting, and you know that those groups gonna start looking at that, people gotta go back to work. We need to take care of the elderly, the veterans, people with mental illnesses, but everybody else gotta go back to work, he added.
So we are a pretty big family. We're a family.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rachach, Quadash, double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, also to the elder high priest of my apostles and elders. Peace, blessing, and salutation unto the elect of the nation of Israel, the Israelites of us, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, predominantly, and all the Israelites scattered abroad. And the elect amongst us are the Israelites that have received the gift of faith and the understanding of the true gospel, which is coming from the Hebrew Israelites, of the great millstone doctrine. And through those teachings is how the elect will be saved in these last days by our Lord Yahushua, when he returns with the host of heaven riding on so-called UFOs. All right. So at the beginning of the video, you had, this article come out along with this news, and it says, go back to work. Tommy Tuberville demands to start cutting food stamps for poor people. All right. So immediately what went through my mind was, this is the same thing that happened in Rome. All right. And we know, according to the scriptures, America is the revival of the Roman Empire, dealing with the political system, with the government and the Senate. All right. And also it follows a lot of the policies. America follows a lot of policies of the Roman Empire. Also the infrastructure, along with the gladiatorial games. All right. And also the economic system. America is following the same patterns that Roman Empire was following. And that goes into cutting of the government, cutting of government assistance and government programs that was for the people. All right, so I have this information right here. Let's see. I typed in Roman Empire welfare system. All right. And I'm going to read the AI overview. It says the Roman Empire had several welfare programs, including Alimenta, the grain dole, and other decrees. Alimenta, if I'm pronouncing that right, this program provided cash, food, and subsidized education to poor children and orphans in Italy. It was likely started by Emperor Nerva, which was a Jake, 96 through 98 AD, and expanded by Emperor Trajan, another Jake, 98 through 117 AD. The program was funded by taxes, philanthropy, and the spoils of the Dacian war. All right, so taxes, funds, child support. It also funds food stamps, SNAP, all right, and other welfare systems, philanthropy, which is, wealthy people so-called giving back. All right, you got Bill Snakes. He's a part of philanthropy. You got other, wealthy people in philanthropy, so-called helping the poor. I say so-called because it's all a facade. It's all a facade to give more power to the powers that be into the government. And we're going to see that with this new economic system that they have coming through central bank digital currencies, blockchain. All right, it's all going to strip the whole world of their freedoms to trade, all right, and to have things, houses, cars, etc., right? Lands, power to control one's own life is going to be controlled by the state, right? This is prophesied in the scriptures, all right? And I know I've said a lot, so I'm going to read this Graendal, and then I'm going to get some precepts. It says, Graendal, this program distributed grain to citizens of Rome either for free or at a low cost, right? And this also goes into your SNAP, food stamps. The grain could be used to make bread or porridge. This program was important for maintaining social order, and politicians would promote it to gain favor with citizens. And this is what happens, especially this government here in America. Most of these programs are set up to benefit the woman, so she can be in the mindset of dependence on the government and put that mindset upon her children, and also demasculating the man, all right, because men are the target of the government's wrath and deception, and mainly the Israelite man, to bind him, to take strength away from him, to give it to the woman, so the government can have free reign, if you will. The government can have power unchallenged. But through this gospel, the Israelite man is standing up with this truth and challenging these, starting with the Edomites, so-called white people who rules the world, through exposing them by the truth. That's what's happening. Now, I went down to people also ask, and I'm going to get some precepts, just bear with me, all while trying to keep these precepts in my head. It said, what was the welfare system in Rome? The Alameda was a Roman welfare program that existed from around 98 AD to 272 AD. And this was when the Israelites ruled the Eastern Roman Empire, right? This is what they call the Holy Roman Empire, where Israelites was in the seat of authority of the Caesars. It was probably introduced by Nerva and was later expanded by Trajan. It was designed to subsidize orphans and poor children throughout Italy. The word subsidize simply means support an organization or activity financially, right? So it's financial support from the government. It was designed to subsidize orphans. Let's see real quick. It was designed to subsidize orphans and poor children throughout Italy through supporting these programs and organizations. Same thing that you have today. You have public schooling, all right? You get free lunch, free education. Where is all of this coming from? The government is supporting this, funding the money, and all while going into deficit spending, right? They're spending more money than they have. The government is, right? So that's where you get the devaluing of the currency through printing more money, all right? And that's why everything throughout the years just keep getting higher. It's not because things that we buying are more expensive or at a higher quality. No, it's because the government, headed by Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is deficit spending, causing the economy to go into inflation, which will become hyperinflation. And this is when people will start going crazy. Right now, we're going through a squeeze. We're going through the squeeze of everybody just barely making it and getting sucked dry until they what's the word I'm looking for? Reevaluate the economy. And that's going to be with the MOTB, which is the RFIDC here, right? It's going to get the money system is going to be real stressed out, causing people to be real stressed out before the revaluation of the economy. It says, but nowhere else with a cash income, food, and subsidized education. How did welfare erode society in Rome? How did welfare erode society? The population depended on the empire for support. They felt entitled and did not feel a sense of civil duty. And that's what you have with a lot of these women. They are not playing their part within society, which this society has built it like this. Even though we don't, and the scriptures don't support women going out into the workforce, nowadays, how can they help benefit the economy? Because back then you had women working with agriculture with their husbands, back in the ancient world. They will be helping in the fields, helping grow the crops, okay, helping with the farm animals. So we don't have none of this today. So how do women help within the financial system? We're at a point right now is they have no choice but to go to work. I mean, you have a choice, but it's harder, to work for yourselves than to just go get a job, right? So it's all bad out here, right? So it says, I'm gonna read this again. How did welfare erode society? And this is in Rome. This same thing is gonna happen in America. The population depend on the empire for support. They felt entitled and did not feel a sense of civil duty. So therefore, government is taking care of you. You're not taking care of yourself. So who's in charge? The government is in charge of your life now. So wherever they sway the economy, the politics, you have to follow it because you're dependent. That's why, and it's truth, we're not dependent on this society, right? Let me get these precepts out, right? So I'm going to start here. Spirit saying start here. All right. Let's see. This is Jeremiah 51:6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon. This Babylon is America. And its flee is a mentality. Don't be dependent on America and its Western culture. Neither follow it. And today is Christmas, right? Where you have this holiday, this heathen paganism practice going on to show to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and to us the Israelites that our people still have not fled out of the midst of Babylon. But you do have us, the Israelites, that have fled. We're not taking part in the practices of this pagan holiday. And it says, and deliver every man his soul. And this is how we're going to be. This is a part of the process of being delivered. Not following the ways and believing in the system. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. So America will be paid back for what is for what it has done. Is wickedness in the form of its philosophies and its ways of life. And for us, the Israelites that take part in that and that believe on her ways are going to be cut off with her when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua sends judgment. And that ultimate judgment is thermonuclear destruction. And before that, you're going to have and before the thermonuclear destruction, there's called a time of Jacob's trouble, where you Israelites that have not fled out of the midst of Babylon, but are still conformed and follow of her ways, and still have the image, the likeness of America on you, you're going to go through a time of peril, of dangers, of, for example, with this hyperinflation, you're going to go through a famine of food and water, where a lot of you Israelites are going to have to resort to eating your children. This is what's coming. This sickness is coming. All right? Shit, I'm scared already. Let's go to the next verse. Babylon had been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand. So the Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, used America to be this very wealthy and attractive empire. that made all the earth drunken, that has influenced all the world through her military conquest and her ability to get wealthy. So they have taken on her ways through these two by these two reasons, right? Or these two causes. The nations have drunken of her wine, her philosophy, Americanization. Therefore the nations are mad. Yeah, the nations followed after her, therefore they're mad. They have gone crazy or nuts following after America. So therefore they have changed their old customs and practices, and now they have the image of Babylon on them. And now the second stage is they're mad. They're pissed off because they got a crappy deal, even though it came with a few toys and a Happy Meal. You know, even though it came with making certain elites of their country rich, it have destroyed their countries, their lands, the people, right? So going to the next precept. This is Revelation 3:10. I'm trying to catch these precepts that I was speaking about. Revelation 3:10, because that has kept the word of my patience. And this is talking to the elect of the nation of Israel that kept the faith through all suffering. All right, through the ups and the downs, through the false doctrines, all right, through the tribulation in your life. I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. So the Lord is going to protect us. That's to keep from the hour of being tested, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So what's coming upon all the world? The reevaluation of the economy, because the dollar is circling the drain, is reached its limits. The elite have used the dollar as a tool to put everybody into debt. All right. So now the precepts are coming back to now they're going to go to a new financial system, which is the MOTB. All right. Which in practically is the RFID or the NFC chip. Right. So Jeremiah 30:7, it says, I'm going to start at verse 5. For thus said Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. So you can get peace out your head, or you can keep it there and be deceived, right? It's up to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. But trembling and fear is on the rise. Just look at the economy, where it's going. All right. This could breed nothing. This could not breed peace or produce peace. All this is going to produce is more fear and more trembling. All right. People are already close to their wits' end. And some people are, you know. Verse 6, ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness, being afraid, okay, catching hell and stressing out, worrying, doubt, anxious, right? For everything that's going on the planet. Men are going to be weak as a female and crying like a female when she's going through labor pain. So how much more the females that depend on men's support? It says support. That's the wrong word to use. That depend on men in their strength and them providing. So how much more women? It says, verse 7, at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So this day is going to be more fear-evoking, more trembling, more destructive than any time in history, in human history. And it's called the time of Jacob's trouble. Jacob represents all 12 tribes of Israel. So you Israelites that don't believe on Yahushua and show your faith by your works are going to be in trouble. But he shall be saved out of it. He is the elect. The scripture says, put on therefore as the elect. We don't know who the elect are, but we know who putting on as the elect. The Hebrew Israelites that's following the great millstone doctrine are going to be protected if we keep the faith. Stick to the 100% truth of these teachings. And thus said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Right? Let's get this precept. Isaiah 65 and 13. Therefore, thus said Yahweh, or the Lord out of one Yahweh. Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So this is the elect to the non-elect. He shall be saved out of it. Is going to be the ones that's protected, and the Israelites that's going to be not eating, not rejoicing, ashamed is the ones that's going to be going through the time of Jacob's trouble. And at the same time, this is the hour, this is the time where the hour of temptation will be placed in front of the people as a solution. So it's going to be a temptation. It's going to be a time of testing to try in an attempt to escape the hell and the tribulation. The MOTB is going to be presented to you and then eventually made mandatory. And soon after that, our Lord Yahushua will come and to deliver the elect. All right. So let me go here. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect. Habakkuk chapter 2. And let's see. Bear with me as I find this scripture. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 4. I started 4 to 6. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So the just are the elect. Again, the faith is the scriptures and the true understanding of the scriptures, which are coming from the apostles and the elder bishops, starting with them from the great millstone on down. But his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man that's ruling Babylon the Great, which is America, and has set up this system and set up this whole trap. Okay, the system is the trap, right? To ultimately get people to fall for the MOTB, because it says that he deceived those that received the MOTB. How did he deceive you? By causing you in your life to be put in a situation where you have to make a decision. And he's not telling you that this decision is going to get you destroyed if you choose the one that I'm telling you to choose. Because his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. Look at the whole system that he's built. Everybody's mourning. Why? Because his soul that's lifted up ain't upright. It ain't righteous. It doesn't follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the scriptures, which he has everybody thinking is a burden and oppressive, which he's the burden and oppressive and wicked. It ain't right. It ain't upright. Verse 5. Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, his philosophies, all right, his system. He is a proud man, all right. He's proud. Why? Because he's gotten rich off the system. He's become the greatest nation, all right. He got the military, which is all given to him by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Neither keep it at home. This man is everybody country, meddling with everybody affairs, taking everybody resources, who enlarging his desire is hell. Okay? He enlarging his desire as the grave. Esau wants everything. And is as death and cannot be satisfied. The so-called white man is greedy. And this is what this system and the new system is all about. Being a fucking glutton. Esau wants everything. He's covetous, right? It says, but gathereth unto him all nations and heap it unto him all people. He want control over everybody, all right? And he has it, but he want total control because he, like he's God, because he has a God complex, all right? And you can see in America with this melting pot that his idea is to, right, hold up, let me say this. America, you can see that his future plans with this NWO is to have control of all nations, because you can see America is known as a melting pot where he has all the nations over here. You have different languages, different cultures. They all come over here to have a so-called better life, right? So this is the model for the whole world. Verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a turning proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? That's America. America is benefiting. This country has been built off of everything that's not theirs. World War I, they really came up and benefiting off of things that ain't theirs, of giving the supplies to the countries that was fighting in World War I, all right, in exchange for their gold, all right, and then saying they have so many amounts of gold, and then giving people these certificates, gold certificates that's supposed to be backed up by gold, but giving more certificates than gold. This is how America got rich, off of deception, inflation, right? But the roosters are going to come home to hatch. I believe that's the phrase, right? America is going to get paid back for everything that is done. Our day of reckoning is coming. So America is getting rich. It says, woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his. America is increasing in resources, all right, that's not theirs. So woe unto you Edomites, and to him that laded himself with thick clay. A double whammy. America is in debt, all right, through deficit spending, through inflation, through print. Deficit spending is what? Spending more money than you have. And that's what they do when they print the money. You know, they just print money out of thin air that's not backed up by anything. Deficit spending, to where it causes the people to just give up everything. Now we don't have nothing, right? Because the government has sucked up all the resources and power, all right, through inflation. Inflation is what? Giving more power to the government, you know? That's all it does. Takes everything from the people and gives it to the state. It says, and to him that leadeth himself with thick clay. So we are saying this, and the nations are saying this, right? It says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. America will be destroyed, right? In World War III. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Ba'ashem Rachakodash Brakatham Shalom.